dollar is finished, the disappearing dollar, it said in December 2004. From that point onwards, within 11 months, the dollar appreciated 15%. In June 2005, the Time magazine spoke about bursting of the housing bubble. And you know what happened after that? The bubble became 10 times bigger. Right? So there are many such examples. And the most interesting for the people in this room, it says that Business Week in August 1979, can you believe it? In August 1979, Business Week magazine said, equity is dead. When the Dow Jones was at 800 levels. Where is the Dow Jones right now? So, it's very important to be contrarian and not to follow the news. And all these things are there in the Indian context also, so I don't want to take a lot of your time. And now the last thing. Do you follow cricket? Most of you follow, right? If I ask you one question about cricket, forget all the other countries. In the ICICI World Rankings, who is the best Indian batsman? Whose name will you pick?
Virat Kohli.
Mahendra Singh Dhoni. Any other names? Virat Kohli. Suresh Raina. Okay. Now I just ask you. I just tell you something. How do you know it is? Why did whoever said Mahendra Singh Dhoni or whoever said actually तो एक ही आंसर है ना? तो सब अलग अलग क्यों बोल रहे बताइए? क्यों पता है? क्योंकि जो साहब महेंद्र सिंह धोनी बोल रहे हैं ना, वो कंफ्यूज हो गए कि मैंने वनडे का पूछा कि टी20 का पूछा, क्योंकि आखिरी बार तो उन्होंने एक्चुअली महेंद्र सिंह धोनी को टी20 में देखा था. ठीक है, चलो वो कंफ्यूजन है. एक साहब बोल रहे गौतम गंभीर, वो एक्चुअली पिछले साल की बात कर रहे, लेटेस्ट रैंकिंग की बात नहीं कर रहे. एक साहब बोल रहे विराट कोहली. ये बहुत ही क्रिकेट फैनेटिक है, इन्होंने आईसीसी का वेबसाइट देखा हुआ है, तो वो विराट कोहली सही आंसर है. Somebody said Suresh Raina, he is also confused with T20. So how do people form their perceptions? People form their perceptions based on something like this. देखो भैया 3 दिन पहले मैंने टीवी खोला ना, तब तो उसने 6 छक्के मारे थे, मुझे पता है वो बेस्ट है. Somebody else will say मैं क्रिकेट तो देखता नहीं, मेरे दोस्त ने मुझे बताया कि सुरेश रैना बेस्ट है. This is how people form a perception. But how do cricket fanatics know that the answer to the first question is Virat Kohli and the answer to the second question is actually Suresh Raina? How do cricket fanatics know this? Can you tell me? Because when they watch the match, they either sit and write, or they make their notes on the laptop, or they go to the Wisden website, or they go to the ICICI World Rankings website, and they make sure that they know who is the best guy because they need to track. So do you follow mutual funds? Do you follow mutual funds? सोच के बताइए. I'll tell you something shocking. I'll tell you something very, very shocking. And I said this in Ranchi, so people who are in Ranchi, please don't answer. I'll tell you something shocking. Do you know that in the last 10 years, there is clearly 2 phases in the market? 2002 to 2007 is different. 2007 to 2012 is different. Do you know 2002 to 2007, if you were to make a laundry list of all the funds in the entire industry, may it be sector funds, ELSS, large cap, mid cap, whatever, what was the 5-year CAGR of the best performing fund between 2002 to 2007? It was 70%.
70.
What was the worst performing fund?
30.
20%. The average fund was 43%. So what it means, you know, 2002 to 2007, as a fund manager, if you did a fantastic job and you were above average, if you did a fantastic job and you gave 43% return, you were still an average performer, nothing great. That is what it means. 2007 to 2012, can anybody guess what were the same numbers? 2007 to 2012, the best performing fund had a 5-year CAGR of how much? 15%. 1-5. Worst performing, can anybody guess? Minus 24. Now tell me the average. Where was the average? अच्छा positive है negative था उतना बताइए. It was minus 4%. And this is the most shocking part. Do you know what it means? That even if you are an above average fund manager, you actually give negative return. Right? So that is why advice matters. And in the last 5 years, you had maximum scope to give different advice. Why? 2002 to 2007, बहुत गंदा एडवाइस दिया तो भी कस्टमर को 20% रिटर्न मिल रहा था, which is double the return that a bank gave. Correct? 2002 to 2007, there was no need for advice. Everything was going up. Last 5 years, there has been need for advice. And that is why I said all these things. This is the reason why I said all these things. 2002 to 2007. 2007, everybody was saying the same thing. We ourselves, when I say everybody, it includes me also. All of us. But the fact is that you need to say something different, you need to say something customized, you need to say something contrarian, and you need to be in the business of making prescriptions. I think that is something which is very important. So thank you very much for listening me out. Our tarakki depends on yours. All the best to you.
I think the clap says is all. I was not wrong when I said the golden man. Now, after hearing all the practices and after hearing the problems from Mr. Anil, I'd like to call somebody who has actually followed the practices. He's a person with around 900 customers and he employs 55 CFAs. I think everybody is waiting to hear from him. Please let me call Sumit Vaid from Freedom Financial Planners.
Good evening, everyone. I need help in the board and I need a caller mic. Is there a caller mic? Yeah. Great. Till the time logistics are organized, I'll just tell you, on my BBM, when Aashish was giving a great presentation, one of the best ones, Aashish. Naveen, awesome. I got a very interesting BBM messenger from one of our colleagues who is also from mutual fund industry. His name is Aayush Tandon. Many of us will know him. He's currently in Dubai and works with a bank. So he sends me this joke. I think everybody should hear. An account holder comes to bank and points gun at cashier, saying, "Just pass my check and give me cash. I will shoot if anybody tries to sell me insurance or mutual funds." I think so. Aayush sitting in Dubai knows what we are talking about. So I think that's why he sent it. But it tells you what's the attitude these days. And he works for a bank. And then one more clap, it's for banks, not for IFS. So I think we need to give it for that. And even if bankers are sitting out here, I think I give a damn to that. They deserve this kind of BBM messages. They are the one who is spoiling the market. They are the one because of whom load went down. They need to get it. Yep. So, before I really start my presentation, I just need to set the context and I need to thank few people, and I just want those gentlemen to either raise their hand or stand up. And there's a point I'm trying to make. So there is Sadiq who will be giving a presentation, I think today or tomorrow, Sadiq sometime. Yep. Raise your hand. I think people should see you. Okay. Sadiq today runs Network FP. It's a platform where all the financial planners, fee-based, come together. Many of you must be already registered. If you're not, you should. He's doing awesome work there. But the point which I'm doing is, I've known Sadiq from the time when he was working with FPSB 3 years ago. A small bachchu who had just come very fresh, was very passionate, and he used to really coax a lot of people to go to FPA conferences in US. So Sadiq has moved up in life. Sadiq has grown. Okay. Then I have, Lovai Navlakhi. Lovai, you need to. I've known Lovai. He's international money man in this world. Okay. Based out of Bangalore, one of the cutting-edge financial advisory firms, which specializes in NRI financial advice, and a very strong believer of financial planning. I met Lovai when he used to be CEO of India.com. Right, Lovai? That last stages, okay? Lovai moved on, and today, he's one of the leading financial planning practitioners in India itself. I will move on. Prem Khatri out here, I've known Prem when he used to be head of marketing for Kothari Pioneer, and Kothari was one of the fastest growing funds and which did a lot of cutting edge stuff itself. Today, Prem runs Cafe Mutual, which is one of the best platforms to share ideas, developments of mutual fund industry. Again, just like Network FP, he's specializing in advice. If you're not following it, do it. He's doing some great work. We have Ramesh out here from Amphi. Ramesh, I've known from Prudential ICICI, and I used to fight with him just with, no, Birda and then Prudential, because I fought with you in Prudential more. So he was head of ops, and he used to never give us late NAVs, you know, because we used to always request, and I think Naveen and Aashish has also fought. Today, we call Ramesh sir because he's representing Amphi, you know. Things change, you know. There is Kailash sitting out here, okay. Kailash is CEO of L&T Mutual Fund, which has just acquired Fidelity, or guzzled Fidelity. I can afford to say that. But Kailash, good friend, but there was a time when we used to call Kailash sir because he was with ICICI Bank, and we were in AMC business, and it was very difficult to get appointment from Kailash. Kailash from ICICI Bank today to CEO of L&T, okay. Then we have Naveen Tiwari out here. Naveen was, I think we started career together as a colleague, but I had the credit of identifying Naveen and getting him on board in Prudential ICICI Mutual Fund. So I remember the first day when Naveen joined the mutual fund industry, and I top it all. You know, the great presentation you heard from Aashish Somaiyaa right now, I've seen him, this guy as summer trainee in Prudential ICICI. Okay, he joined as summer trainee, then management trainee, and then almost grew, and somewhere I think both me and Naveen have a role which we have played in your life. So you have to thank us, okay? Do that. Okay. Last but not least, Mr. Bagaria, who is sitting out here. I've seen and worked with Mr. Bagaria as Prudential ICICI agency. We have chatted up, we have celebrated and danced together. And similarly, Kanak. I've seen Kanak as somebody, a young guy, a lot of ideas, brilliant ideas, always doing things. Now, both Mr. Bagaria and Kanak have done MFRT, and you have seen the growth of these people. The point I'm trying to make out here is change is constant and change is growth. Each one of us out here have moved, you know, from where we were 5 years ago. And that's what life is. So it's all about attitude. Everybody's made a point, but I'm giving you practical experiences of people sitting in this room who at one point of time were somewhere in their life. Today, they are, you know, at some other place, and all of them have grown. So always believe in yourself, because I think this is part and parcel of life. And we don't need to really go and criticize it beyond a point. I think it's okay. Life is good. 3 undertones of presentation I'll set in. Agree to disagree. Okay, these are my point of view, not the right point of view. And any one of you who have any disagreements, we can sort it out over the glass of beer in the evening. But beer is compulsory. If you have not beer, I will not be able to sort it out with you. And I'll not try to offend, but sometimes in my presentation you might see very strong point of views emerging out of it. So I just need help to pull this board. This I can help you. We just need to pull it towards the center. Thank you. Naveen and Aashish, you can sleep now. That's okay. Thanks. Basically, a lot of us I've met and I've given a presentation about what I'm going to talk. This is not the first time I'm going to talk about this. I'm going to basically talk about the journey of Freedom Financial Planners, where we started, But one of the points which I want to make, at least there are certain large number of people in this room which are not seeing this presentation for the first time. The surprising part is, the same people have same question for last 4 years, and every time they come and ask me same things. It hasn't changed. Either they haven't done it, or they ask me just to keep me happy, you know. But to those specific people, I'm really challenging you, you know, because what I'm going to talk about really works and it happens. So if you have any questions, we can discuss over the beer. My journey is, I started my career in mutual fund, before that without capital, being part of the mutual fund industry, grew with the industry, and sometime in mid-2005, 2006, influenced by a lot of people sitting in this room. Bhagirath, you have a big influence. We had discussions one of these days about advisory. I moved my career away from mutual fund sales to become a financial advisor. And that's my honest advice to a lot of my mutual fund friends who are sitting in this room. Aashish, Naveen, Kailash, you know, future in financial services is being closer to the clients, not being far away. So us financial advisors, to me, have a brighter future because we handle the client. Okay? So if we are not there, mutual funds will not be there. There's just no word about it. Also, one more fact, why they continue to support all of independent financial advisors is that India is one of the unique countries where the split of IFA, banks and institutions or national distributors is 33, 33, 33. And in fact, as per the recent study, IFA net sales is much more positive to the mutual fund than banking net sales. So give a big hand on that. And this is just the beginning. So next time sponsorship has to go up. Okay. We are doing much better than banks. And Naveen and Aashish have anyway raised hands for either one. So they are game. So when I started Freedom Financial Planners, I actually did what Kanak just explained of why, how, what. And I borrowed this idea from the author Simon Sinek, and he's the guy who has this principle of this golden circle, and he talked about it. So anybody can go to TED.com and say Simon Sinek, you'll be able to see an exhilarating video of 18 minutes where he explains this, and there's also a beautiful book which is written. So I'm just going to do what is the why, how, what of freedom, and I'm in my next 15 minutes to 20 minutes of my presentation, I'll just take you through what we do at Freedom. Again, as I said, this is what we are doing, not necessarily the right stuff, so everybody can have their own views, but I'm just sharing what we do and what we believe in. So this is the golden circle concept. You have why here, you have how here, and you have what here. So I'll first start with what, but you know, when you actually do this exercise, it has to go why, how, what, but to make it easier for you to understand also. So at Freedom, what do we do? At Freedom, we are in business of financial advice delivery. That's it. So at Freedom, what we do is financial advice delivery. It comes, how do we do it? We do it with the process of financial planning, in which we collect the data, write a financial plan, and for doing this, we charge fee. Why do we charge fee? Because there is no transaction. And for doing financial planning and financial advice, we need some money, otherwise we will not be able to do it for free. So what we do, we are in business of financial advice delivery. How we do it through the process of financial planning, and we collect data and write financial plans. Why do we do it? Our why is very clear. We want our clients, we call our clients to be the members. Okay, we don't call them clients, we don't call them customers, we call them members. We want our members to live their financial goals. That's our why. We want our members, whosoever come and become part of Freedom, should live their financial goals. See, in other words, let's go why, how, what. What is the why of Freedom? Why of Freedom is we want our members to live their financial goals. How do we do it? We write financial plan. For doing that, we need data, we write financial plan, and we charge money. What do? We deliver financial advice. It's very, very clear. So today when we set our business, the ability to make choices of what we'll do and what we'll not do is very, very clear. For example, if somebody doesn't pay us, we don't move ahead. You can check up at Freedom, give us a call at Mystery Shopping and say, you have to invest 1 crore rupees in any mutual fund, can you come and pick up the application? We'll say no. You give us any amount of money. There have been cases where there are large institutions who have come to us and saying 10 crores. We've said no, unless you don't pay us 15,000 rupees, we don't write a financial plan. There's no basis for us to give financial advice. So this is the first part. This is our why, how, what. We follow it, it works. I just need to have the duster. So now comes the next part. What do we do? When we say we represent our members and make them live their financial goals, our basis is very clear. We represent our clients. We don't represent manufacturers. We don't have any kind of love or hate relationship with manufacturers. They exist because of our clients. We truly represent our clients or members. So this is the value chain which we believe in. The first line of this value chain is manufacturers or manufacturers of financial products. It will be mutual fund, life insurance, banks, etc., etc. The next one who comes in this line is distributors. We define distributors as large platforms, banks, who can employ a large number of financial advisors. Then comes advisors. These can be salaried financial advisors and independent financial advisors. Salaried financial advisors are also known as relationship managers. They work on salary plus commission, or independent financial advisors who are 100% commission. Now when I'm talking about independent financial advisors, let me do a small study in this room. In this room, how many of us think that IFA's I stands for individual financial advisor? Kanak, I want you to stand up and see this. 75% of us say I stand for individual. That's pathetically wrong. It's completely bullshit. It has to stand for independent financial advisors. There's nothing like individual. That itself is first attitudinal shift which needs to happen.
As an independent financial advisor, you are coming from a different skill set as an individual financial advisor. So India, this is also confused, and one of the agendas for MFRT is change this mindset. It's independent, it's not individual. Okay. So this is the second line. The third and the most important line is customers. Okay. Surprisingly, in my experience, everyone in this value chain, especially these three, think they are the biggest. They think they are the biggest. I've spent my time with mutual funds. Trust me, when we sit at a strategy meeting, we think only from mutual funds point of view. And a lot of my friends are sitting out there, no offense. I'm just trying to make a case that, nobody is thinking from client's point of view. And I'm even making a case. A lot of us sitting in this room also do not think from a client's point of view. We think from our point of view. As a result of which, the current value chain of this industry in India is that manufacturer creates product based on his profitability, gives commission to him, he gives an incentive, and he goes and sells the product irrespective whether he needs it or not. This is the current stage of things. And as soon as this equation got challenged by commission not being there, the whole system for last 5 years is still not able to forget it. And every time there is an Economic Times headline where Mr. Yuki Sinha stand up and say, no, we are thinking about doing something, there is a hope back. But where is customer in this? There is nowhere. So when we set up freedom, we said we'll go the other way around.